July 23rd, year of our Lord 2026. May we please establish a quorum? Ms. Angel?
Sue Braun. Here. Michelle Verzon.
Here.
Derek Smith.
Yes.
Matthew Grocock.
Here.
Brett Stump. Timothy Haygood.
Here.
Derek Frederickson Jr.
Here.
We have quorum.
All right. Brother Kirk, do you mind giving an invocation, please?
Okay. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for this market. Thank you for our families, our jobs, our opportunity to glorify you in all that we do. May we continue to seek your kingdom and counsel on things that we do in this market. What a great place to live. Be with those that are traveling, be with those that are sick, those that can't be with us. Take care of the orphans, take care of the widows, Lord. Thank you for blessing this community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, first up on the approvals is the meeting agenda. I have one change. We are not going to need a closed meeting today. So we're going to go ahead and cross that off the list. And then I think everything else should be good. Unless anybody has any other changes or modifications. Staff, is there anything else I missed?
I think that's it from me.
Seeing none, can I have a motion to adopt the modified agenda, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second? Okay, got a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we've got our agenda. Next up is approve the meeting minutes for our June 25th, 2026 meeting. Hopefully you had a chance to look at those ahead of time. Does anybody have any changes or modifications? If not, they have a motion to approve the prior meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Move to approve, second. All right, we got a second. Motion second, any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the prior meeting minutes of June 25th, 2026, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Today, I just want to say welcome. Thanks for everybody who could be here. I know we've got a lot of people on the team traveling to wonderful destinations international and other places, but hopefully everybody is seeing some pickups in the crowds here in town. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Kirk Elmquist for his report.
Thank you, Derek. Just general, same old, continuing the process, grinding out meals, miles, Zoom calls and meetings about, I was intrigued, a big wow moment yesterday with Matt Atkins and his collaboration and going after a workforce for tourism here where J1s can actually choose their job here and wants to start promoting that to increase the potential for having more employees come our way. He's working on a new hospitality type of class or a lab, as they called it. Had a huge wow, 250th on what's going here. I love the red, white, blue paint and all the great things that have happened over here and our intent to be so forthright on being a patriotic community. The hospitality that I'm witnessing and watching when you go in and out of businesses is just seems better. I don't know, there's a spirit in the air. I kind of like it. Delved into the social sentiment piece that we picked up this past week on return visitation, just studying and learning all I can about that for the marketing, the film business, the economic ITR type of things that we're studying. Yet tomorrow I'm going to be a part of an accreditation luncheon for the economic partnership here in this area, doing a lot of listening and a lot of listening to Patrick and getting legal advice. So we're all crossing our T's and dotting our I's. And then today's Lakes Area Leadership, and they were out at College of the Ozarks this morning, which was really neat what they put on their display with the 38 members of the class today. And then now they're off to Ozarks Tech, as they call it, not OTC anymore, it's Tech, taking that national name. But they're learning about higher education in our community and how it infiltrates into our leadership and what we're trying to do to, keep the students coming to this area, because supposedly there's a big lull in the smallest class due to the 2008 crash. And they were giving us statistics on this, but for the next 6 years, they're going to struggle trying to find students to come to our colleges here in this area. So it was neat to listen to their leadership on how they're going out that and how we can maybe potentially lean in with some of our advertising to come to our area, go to college here, pick up a tourism degree, a tourism certificate, and be involved in this industry through these labs that they're talking about. So just a lot of synergy has come out of the Tennessee trip, and hearing a lot more dialing it down to what's best for our market from the trip that we all took over there. So it's been a busy month. We're excited though, a lot forward though. And then AJGA, Derek and I had a conversation about that. Neat tournament this week. Had a couple guys 6 guys come down from Springfield from corporations I used to work with at Bass Pro and Anheuser-Busch and Highland Dairy, and came down and played. And 2 of the guys told me, they said, it's the first time I've ever played golf and not cussed in front of a 15-year-old. So I was proud of my boys. So pretty good. Had a lot of fun. But AJGA is leaving this market and it'll go elsewhere. But Bass Pro's dropped their partnership with it, which it'll leave the golf courses. And I'm not sure where they will land, but coming alongside, collaborating more with what's going on at Thunder Ridge and Big Cedar, and then certainly with Silver Dollar City is just part of what we all need to be collaborating with. So, busy time, sir. That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for Kirk? All right, thank you for the report. Next up, we had the Financial Oversight Committee report.
We did not meet this month, but Angela does have the financials to share with you.
Thank you very much.
Do. Your June ending bank balance was $1,596,551, roughly $250,000 more than June 30th last year. Sales tax collections are on track with our cash flow projections. Have not recorded the Explore Branson revenues for June yet. We had an amended revenue report that was later than expected that I need to work on an adjustment so the numbers are right. In our books, 3 marketing expense categories are over budget for the month, but within budget for the year. Financial Oversight Committee will now be receiving the monthly reconciliation reports to monitor that marketing budget more closely. And this report is the solution we determined would help with removing the agreed upon procedure requirement that was trying to match our accounts payable to Explore Branson's accounts receivables. And because we don't use the same basis of accounting, they won't ever match. So this is the way we are monitoring both of those balances to make sure that we are on top of things. Table Rock Lake Chamber has its final payment for this year's grant work, and we're waiting to receive the grant funds to complete that contract. Our tourism tax collections for the district were at 9.2% for the May reporting month, down year to date 1.37%, so very nearly flat for the year. City sales tax reports show general sales tax down 0.5% for their month, but still up 1.5% year to date. Tourism tax was down 7.6% for the year, 0.5% year to date down. All the categories were down except the restaurants, which seemed odd. They were up 22.8%, so apparently people are eating. Remaining categories were down less than 5% with the exception of campgrounds, and they were off 32.3%, which maybe that's the wet weather we've had and now the heat holding people back. Explore Branson audit is on track and we expect to receive it by October. And then last month we voted to proceed with the Cedars collateralization program for our bank balances to be fully FDIC insured. That program is active and our money has been transferred out to the sister banks. We still have to get the statement access arranged, and we are going to increase the minimum balance that Branson Bank will hold personally to $240,000 because we're doing too much back and forth. 10 days into it, we transferred 3 times this week, so we need to raise that balance to make it less painful to watch. But that's what I have for financials.
Angela, quick question on the balance sheet for the ending of June. I still see the intergovernmental inflow.
We don't have our audit adjustments yet till Madison delivers the audit next month. Then she will, once she gets our check, we'll send the audit adjustments.
Okay.
And then that will clear up.
But why do we still have it though for June? Because didn't that agreement end in May?
It did, but we're going to have some 2026 still in there because from January to May, we still had 2 payments due. So that was in there till that point. Once I get the audit adjustments entered, we should be clear of everything.
Okay. So in July, I can expect to see that going?
Probably not till the August financials when we get our audit delivered.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Any questions for Angela on the financials? I did ask a question for the group's benefit about the 240 Angela reference, and that's just saying, hey, the minimum balance in our checking account's gonna be a little higher than it has been to reduce some of the back and forth of transferring money. Not that we're not keeping a close eye on it, because Angela absolutely is, but it doesn't do us any good to make 3 transfers within a week, when things come up. So, we have a budget, we stick to the budget, we monitor the budget, we manage the budget. But there are timing within that budget, as we all know, between different weeks and even days when things need to get cut and paid for. So, kudos to Angela and Kirk on that. Thank you for that. Any other questions? Seeing none, may I have a motion to accept the Financial Oversight Committee report, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Got a motion, a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, on the MOC, I know that our leader on the MOC couldn't be here today. Anybody who was at the MOC, we're gonna have some reports, I think, from the team that's here and available, but anybody from the MOC meeting have anything they'd like to bring up?
The Trove report is huge, and I'm sure that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Anything else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on that. Next up, we have the team reports from our friends at Explore Branson Tourism. And you guys kick it off whatever way. We'll just do roulette, however you want to handle it today. You all decide.
I think that they're tuning in to get their reports.
Okay, perfect.
through.
The pictures weren't, I didn't see the pictures. Great.
I think Heather and Ashley are joining us.
All right, there we are. Hi, Heather. So, Heather, you're up first.
Hi there. So I'm not sure if everyone has received the Trove report and all of the data that was shared with the Marketing Oversight Committee this week.
We have.
And I can't see any of you, so I don't know if anyone's nodding their head or anything.
I'll speak up and say we're all nodding. We did receive it. So thank you for confirming that.
So we had a really great discussion around what that visitor sentiment and all of that information brought forward. And we also shared the entire report after the fact, and Angela has that information as well. And it was more than 100 pages, so it's a lot to dig through, but we found that it's obviously really, really useful and helpful information. And we encourage anyone who has the time to take a look at that, to please dive into it. And if you have any questions, reach out. I was able to meet up with that Trove team actually here in Portland yesterday as well as today to have questions about the information. They were impressed by the questions and the feedback and the information that our board members and the MOC members brought up. So that was really refreshing to hear. And what that will mean from next steps for us is they're actually compiling the full sentiment report that is January through June, which will be delivered to us next week. And that will be an additional 100 pages talking about the visitor sentiment all through the social media channels that they have captured during that time. And it'll have a, next steps, course of action, recommendations, all of that as well. But how we're taking this information now is we're building that as part of, you may remember in our KPIs, goals and objectives, that will actually be one of the goals that we have to take some of that information to break out into work groups at MOC level and then talk about what can be done. And we've identified a hospitality program is certainly something that can be tackled right away. And then also extending our shoulder seasons and being really specific with how we market and promote those shoulder seasons. But it was really valuable, useful information and a really wise investment. And another thing that came from that discussion was the need for some more impact data and impact study centered around our marketing campaigns. And I was able to just meet with the tourism economics team, which is centered on Oxford data and research. They're very neutral. They're basically the Switzerland of tourism research and development in the industry. They digital ads, they're not in the advertising space, they're not doing websites, they're none of that. It's strictly research and data. And had a really, really great meeting with them for the last hour, talking about what that looks like for us to dive into the impact of all of our advertising and the effectiveness of it. And what that would mean is pixel placement on our website and then tracking all of the advertising that's happening for our destination and showing what's looking like, what they're doing, and how it's delivering visitation, taking it way further than just the ads that we're serving and the credit card impact, but showing what's out there in the market, the ads that are being served to people and the effectiveness of it. And had we not served the ads, what would have happened or who we would have missed and in what markets. And what's great is they make this partnership available because we're members of Destinations International, and because Destinations International wants all of us as destination marketing organizations to be serving up the most effective strategic advertising campaigns. They partner with tourism economics to offset some of those costs. So it's a really affordable rate that is already included in our budget for next year. So they're getting a full proposal for us for next week, and I'm excited about the additional tools that that will bring. Because it brings tools that are just for the media that we've placed, but then it also measures and monitors all of the effectiveness just around our website. And then also dives into the sales component as well as the sports piece, and can also tell us emerging markets of where we might need to be and some strategy that we could end up using and changing and how we might need to pivot in the market as well. So that will be forthcoming and really exciting to be able to include that as part of our 2027 marketing plan and budget for consideration to MOC, FOC, and the board.
Awesome. Wait, real quick, can you help me? What was it tourism what was the name of the company that you were referencing there for the pixel placement tracking ads effectiveness type study? What was the name of the company?
Correct. It's tourism economics.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
they work with Oxford economics as well. And like I said, they're completely neutral. The way they termed it was they're agnostic when it comes to advertising dollars. So that's really refreshing to hear because they're not trying to pitch us on a platform that we need to use to sell ads.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then I think that it's fair to say that and Sue, please correct me if you feel this is erroneous, but I think that we spent a little less time on the whole marketing report itself because we did have about 45 minutes from Trove presenting that visitor sentiment study, which I think everyone found very useful, very valuable. And to let everyone know, we have made that public on the Explore Branson research page. Angela reached out and pointed out that that would be a good place to put it. So we did update that, and that information is on there. So anyone from the public can view that visitor sentiment information. I believe it's about 70 slides long. But I think that anyone from the community, anyone within the district would find that really, really helpful. So in terms of the report itself, we gave kind of a high level overview of what we have going on. And then we pointed out some of the Datafy keynotes, the fact that our repeat visitation is close to 60%. And then what the ad spend is looking like and the higher spend, going back to that Trove research study, our long haul travelers, people who come the furthest, are spending more money in market, which is typical. And then we talked about the hotel occupancy rate. And then we really stressed and highlighted the website advertising revenue and how the team is meeting and exceeding goals. They've overtaken the sales goal of 85,000 has obviously we've surpassed that. And just since this report was placed, we have 35 new advertisers versus 24. And our overall sales are getting closer to the 200,000 mark. And then we shared the Q3 goals for Lauren and Abby for August through September. And we feel really confident that they will meet and exceed those goals as well. And then a fun highlight that we had that the day of the MOC meeting was the first ever backstage breakfast that we held for the show industry. And that had more than 20 attendees at it. We did a light breakfast from Branson Cafe. And then Abby, who is our digital marketing manager, she talked about all of the different opportunities that we've made available this year. Some of them as low as $100 a month, and was able to do direct outreach with the shows and talk about what we're doing in terms of marketing. And then our PR manager, our social media manager, and then digital manager for assets and creation. They were all there in attendance to talk about what we're doing and how we're doing it and showcase what we're doing for the show industry. We feel that this is just the beginning of those events. This was the first, and we feel like that's going to be something that we can do at least twice a year and goal of quarterly because it was so well received. And we're excited. It led to another show that we're going to be seeing. We went and saw the new Narnia Caspian production last Friday, and our team will be going to 6 next week, and we'll be taking little Francie for a Francie Friday episode and doing some behind the scenes with the 6 team. We're really excited about that.
Stuff.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for Heather?
I just had one question, Heather. On the sentiment, we asked about which of the following best describes why you have not been to Branson. Other was almost 27%. Do we have raw data on that we'd be able to see specific reasons why people don't come to Branson?
Did you catch that
It'll be
question?
that will be in the final report,
Okay,
and we will be sharing that.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? All right. Well, Heather, thank you so much for taking some time out while you're at Destinations International. I hope you guys have a wonderful trip and successful trip. It sounds like you already have. So,
Thank you. It's been excellent.
right. Who's next up?
Ashley's online for the sales report.
Awesome. Hi, Ashley.
That's one. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
So, just to piggyback a little bit off of what Heather was reporting there about tourism economics, I also sat in on a half-day symposium here at Destinations International with them, and I can concur that those tools are going to be really helpful for us. We're excited about all the opportunities that are there for just deeper dive on reporting and data and things we don't have available right now. So excited about that, excited about the sales tools that are available there as well to track deeper into our market segments. And also they're rolling out an update to the economic impact calculator to ensure that it's accurate and it's pulling all the right information. So that should be rolling out this fall. So those are some great highlights from that symposium that I got to be a part of. And we're excited about next year and what we'll be able to do with them. So just wanted to give that note. Looking at sales, our team is on pace with our goals for our leads. We, as of the report time, we're tracking for leisure 39 leads. We've increased that by about 4 since then. And for meetings and conventions, we had 103 leads. We've added about 5 since then. So we are on pace. I did mention at MOC that when we look at our goal setting for next year, that there will be a little bit more of an ebb and flow that we consider as we're setting the goals for the month. This year we did our goal for increasing by 10%, and then we just did a 1-12 split across the board. And we're seeing some of those fluctuations on when the leads are picking up and when they're coming through. So there's a slight variation here in the middle of the year, but looking forward to continuing to be on pace for our increase by the end of the year. And then we had several in market things that have happened over the last month. we hosted the Heritage Club's International Peer Group Board, and they were here in town to learn about Branson, but also to start planning their annual conference, which we will be hosting in March of 27. And so that was a great experience for them. They got to see the showboat, we took them to the hay goods, they stayed in the chateau. So they're very excited about bringing their full conference here. And this is bank travel planners. And so they will bring their club directors here to plan leisure groups for future years. So we're really excited to have them in market. We also attended the Travel Alliance Partners or TAP dance, the name of it, in June, and we had over 20 appointments. That is a different conference, so we're just assessing that as we're planning for next year. If it's something we want to continue with, but we were able to get in front of tour operators in the leisure market with them as well. And then last month we had talked about Rally Point and just included some more information about Rally Point and the impact that that had, some photos and a video recap as well that we hosted in the last month. And that was a super successful event. It was a great way to kick off Flag Day weekend with all the other exciting things we had going on. Just wanted to include some recap information in the report there for you. We also worked on sending out several different email messages this last month, which we're continuing into this month. Working on just prospecting emails to our full database, and we're seeing strong open rates. We're also sending out just a little bit more incentivized emails, getting them to open and click through to just try some prospecting for leads. So we'll have more to report there in the next month's report. And then wrapping up, finally, we also had our National Tour Association site tour. So the NTA membership drive and site tour happened. We had their executive team in market to learn about Branson and start planning for NTA Contact, which we will be hosting next year. And also drive membership for this year in Tulsa, since it's only a few hours down the road. We're hoping to bring a strong presence of community partners with us, and we were able to negotiate with the NTA team to offer special discounted rates for the community partners. And we were excited to see pretty good attendance for that and build a presence for NTA in Tulsa coming up in November. And that is the sales report. Any questions?
Derek has a question for you.
Yeah.
Just not me,
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
Just curious on, I know you mentioned on pace, and so I'm trying to just get clarity on the goal side. What do you attribute the actualized numbers versus goals to? Like, is that a dip in people being responsive? Is that where is that miss?
So that's when we get an RFP and they are sent out to our community partners and we're able to distribute them, then we count that as a team. That's what we're attributing those numbers to.
Yeah, sorry, I guess the gap between the goal and what's actually happened. That's what I'm asking. Like, what are you feeling? What are you seeing?
I think, that's just a fluctuation in timing. I think more than anything, we didn't have as many trade shows in the last couple of months, and we see a lot more leads coming in at the beginning of the year versus the middle of the year, as people are kind of gearing for the next round. So I think that that's just a timing issue. I don't foresee us having issues with our overall goals for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Derek. Anybody else? All right, Ashley, enjoy the conference. I hope you have a productive remainder of the conference and safe journeys home. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Nice. Is sports what we have left? Or?
Me.
Christina gets to present today. I don't have to try to be Christina, so
Okay.
you'll have a
Okay.
much better report
Yeah.
today.
You just get to be Pam today.
I get to be
Yes.
Pam
Yeah, all
today.
right.
Well, we've had a busy June, and most of July has been just as busy in sports world. We had, just a recap for June, we have had 11 supported events, and some of the key highlights in that is we had USSSA Classic, which there were 2 events for that for softball. Then we had the first of a 2-part series for USSSA National Softball Championship. That first one brought in 155 softball teams. And just to kind of tell you how big that one is, it bleeds into our community. It goes into our high schools. We were able to use, thankfully, to be able to accommodate this, the Reed Springs High School. We were able to use Hollister High School, Branson High School, and also we had to dip into our friends down south in Harrison, Arkansas, to use their fields to be able to accommodate the growing need of this event. It was a two-part series. The second part was in July. They also had 154 teams. The first one had a little bit of challenge with weather. It did rain a lot, and all of our fields, thankfully, in our area are turfed. However, the ones down in Harrison, the infield is turfed, but the outfield is not. So when it rained, those staff, bless them, for getting up at 4 a.m. and siphoning off the water of the outfield to make it doable. I talked with the national director this morning for UTRIP, and he was amazed not only with Harrison, but the Recplex and all the pivoting pieces that it took, because when they moved some of those tournaments, because their fields were not up to the same par as our fields in our area, they reached out to our Recplex, and our Recplex has a great partnership. That's where it's, I think it's special to live in this area because of the partnerships. They reached out to our friends at Ballparks of America, and at the last minute, they said, yes, you may come use our fields. So the national director said that that was amazing, that it spoke volumes for our partnerships within our community and working together, and especially last minute, because he said, I really was on the phone thinking, I'm going to have to cancel this. This is the first time I've ever had to cancel a national tournament in my career with UTRIP, but it was very close. We were able to continue that event and move on. So as a result of that, I was able to talk with him, and he is looking at bringing USSSA Baseball World Series here next year in between the USSSA softball events. And he is in conversation with the Branson Recplex. And so we're really excited about that opportunity. So UTRIP is really, really big in baseball in Arkansas, and they're wanting to grow it in Missouri. So from those obstacles came a little diamond. So we're excited about that. In addition to that, I was talking to Pam about this. During the weekend of the first series of USSSA National Championship of 155 softball teams, we also had a back-to-back dance competition down at the convention center. So in that one weekend, we had 155 softball teams and 1,600 dancers down at the convention center. So we did rough numbers. That for that particular weekend, it brought in 10,000 people to our destination just in a matter of a few days. So that was amazing. We have went into different places and saw lots of dance moms and glitter and makeup down to softball. So really excited. Then to bring that all back together, I won't go over all of the events that we had in June. You have them in your packet, but the total estimated attendance was 31,250. The breakdown of that was 10,035 athletes with 21,250 estimated spectators, bringing that estimated EIC impact over $22 million. And year to date, we are up overall in number of events over last year. So we're tracking along to end this year ahead of last year. Additional things that we've had going on. We did not have a sports conference in June or July. Our next conference will be in August, Connect Marketplace. We were also featured in Sports Destination Management at no cost. They did a fishing editorial, and the link for that is in your packet if you want to check that out. We completed the filming for All Access with Andy Garcia and showcased Ballparks of America, Branson Recplex, the Table Rock State Park, the Branson Convention Center, and then also we did some filming and showed off our building here with that documentary on the effects of sports tourism in Branson. Then to look ahead at July, we had 9 tentative events, and as of now, all of those have happened, even with the weather. And just some key highlights on that one was AJGA, which Kurt talked a little bit about. these events aren't possible without, with our team coordinating every detail with them. And one of those that's huge is volunteering. And Francisco, I don't know how he does it. He is a social butterfly and he goes out and talks to everybody and he calls them and asks them if they'll please come out and help, and they say yes. So we had lots of volunteers thanks to him and his efforts. He was out there every day at about 6 a.m. and was there all day through the heat. He just finished up. He just texted me a few minutes ago, and he was there every single day in the heat from 6 a.m. till about 3, 4 o'clock. And then after that, he'd come in here and work really hard. So they ended up with 78 junior golfers. And thanks to Derek, we were able to grow our pro-am event. And when I came on to the CVB, there was about 4 teams. And this year, Derek, we ended up with 11.
Yeah, 11 or 12. Something like that.
So it's kind of sad to see them go. There is a glimmer of hope that they can stay. I was talking with them the other day, and of course they love this area. They do not want to leave, so they are trying a couple of other things, and we're hoping that those might come through. But it's not looking like they will stay at their current location. But they're looking at some other options. But they have grown it. They've grown in the number of junior athletes. They've grown in the pro-am. And though that pro-am, with Derek's efforts, and I'll let you say a little bit about how that worked. We met a couple of years ago and started talking about how to grow this. And we were able to work with AJGA to benefit their program, which is giving scholarships back to junior golfers, and also being able to put money back into our community through the board that Derek's on. Do you want to say a little about it?
Yeah, thank you. And I can say a lot. I've talked to Kirk about it. First off, thanks to this board for supporting it all the years that you have. And I know it takes the community partnership that we have. We've been able to grow in some sponsors and some people who thought they might align well with this. And through the conversations we had, we just didn't have a spot for them to be putting the money back into the community. And so I was kind of helping share the tournament, find sponsors, and I thought, well, why don't we ask if we can help a nonprofit that I'm part of? So the Hope Counseling Center has been the beneficiary. And so we raised a good amount of money this year for that as well. But I think the important piece there is that they don't want to leave, right? And it's because of the team here. And so kudos to your team. Everything you said about Francisco and then Stewart's efforts as well, and your effort and everybody else that volunteered. It's a great event, and it's hard to beat, playing golf on a Monday at Buffalo Ridge. I had a guy almost break the course record, Kirk, yesterday, shot 64, the guy that's leading now. So pretty cool to see stuff happening out there, continue to gain national attention, just even through the HHEA. So it is a bummer. For what it's worth, other options they've looked at so far, I'm not going to go through all of them, but not gonna make sense from cash flow wise. So I know there's still conversations happening, but whether it's this or whatever that the folks down the road want to bring in, on the Big Cedar side, always supporting them and whatever this board can do to help bring other ones like it. So it's been a fun ride with it, and it is a bummer. But I think the reason they want to stay, or I know the reason they want to stay, is because of what you described, the partnership, the team that we have, the community that wants to get involved. So,
Well, some of the issue is giving up that course.
Oh, yeah.
The length of time because of the amount of tee times that are being brought in here. To give up their golf courses, the revenue drop is enormous. It's purely a business model. Nobody dislikes watching a junior athlete compete and try to get better from the #1 golf resort in the country. It's just, we got to put them in a space where they're not taking so much revenue with all the tee times that are being lost in that week. And that's the bottom line.
Right. The amount of support they've shown through the Bass Pro Foundation, and then the Payne Stewart Family Foundation. I know they want to stay involved as well. But to your point, can you want me to think about how many tee times that
And there's some synergy with Springfield, with Payne Stewart growing up here. And, does Hickory take a look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Does River Cut as a public golf course? But truly losing a week of revenue off of tee times when you have a rain week or a rain month before that, it's just difficult to make those decisions. unless AJGA picks up their expense rate. They're not getting a TV time with it. There's just a big, big piece of omelet that needs to be put together. And the closing of the sales is really the bottom line. They're golf experts, they're not sales experts, and I think that's where the challenge is. They're just not creating enough sponsorships.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I think, and I've tried to tackle that, right? But you got, I mean, where does that fall in your
Yeah.
priority list, you know? So I think, that's a good point and maybe an observation we could provide back to them. But I think it opens up the opportunity to say, what else can we do as a group, right? And put more opportunities in your lap, because you do think about the amount of people, talk about 10,000 through softball and dance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a numbers game.
Yep.
So I don't want to speak too long on it, let it be positive, and also agree with you on, you know, you do have to consider the, as you said, the number one golf resort in the country, allowing them to play for, I think it's Monday through today,
Yeah.
right? Plus practice
They
rounds
included there.
on the Sunday before. So it's a lot of golf to have your course shut down in the middle of summer.
Thank you for letting me put you on the spot there. So just to wrap it up, next week we start the first part of a 3 World Series at Ballparks of America. Next week will be the 16 to 18U, and then it'll go into the next 2 through August 15th, I believe. So we're getting ready to switch from golf to baseball. So we're excited to end the month on a high note and keep moving forward. Does anybody have any questions or?
Question. On the softball, did you say you went south to Harrison? Was there any discussion about going north like Ozark?
They've looked at it, but in Harrison, have you been to that complex there?
No.
They have multi fields. They have a total of 6 fields, I believe.
Okay.
One of them being baseball, so they don't use that one because of the backstop. But it's because there are so many
There are
there.
more
And the
fields,
one in
yeah.
Ozark, I believe, has 3. And it's grass.
Probably not. I mean, probably the Ozark High School softball field would be about the only good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize there were multiple fields in Harrison. At least.
There is. That's the only thing. So we need more fields here so we can keep them here. They're still staying here. They're coming back because they'll play. My daughter was in the first one, so she played one day in Harrison, and then she played at the Recplex, and then she played over at Reed Springs, and they move them around. The good thing is that when you want to look at the impact of these events, they're supporting our schools. So Hollister in particular, they were able to use their fields for all 4 of the U-Trip softball tournaments. And I was talking to the coach the other day for that high school, and he said that it put almost $9,000 into his softball program that helped them pay for their uniforms, helped them pay for their bats, their equipment, the new things that they needed for the year, just like, you know, t-shirts, things like that for traveling. And otherwise it would have been difficult for them to raise that amount of money without having these events at their location. Same thing with Reed Springs and Branson. They're using those dollars because they get paid a small amount for the use of the fields, but then they also get to keep the revenue from all of the concessions. And that's a lot of money at one place for concessions over, you know, a few days. So it's been great, but we just need more fields. We need more fields. If we had them, we'd fill them. I've talked with Cal Ripken, and they said that if we could add 2 more fields at the Recplex, that I could 100% get the Babe Ruth League softball World Series here. So it's a matter of continuing to grow and keep the people that we have that are also growing their events. So they just love this area. They love being able to come here and compete at the highest level, but then stay in our hotels, go to our restaurants, and then be able to ride a go-kart and have Andy's a frozen custard and then go play again.
The communication back to, and like the data that you just shared with us, back to the city on, hey, you should consider, but I'm sure that's happening, but just curious on. Okay. Any feedback from them?
They are in favor of it. It's just all about money. So one of the ideas that was in a study that we did back in 2018, and we presented a 3-part phase project to the city then was to turf the current soccer field at the Recplex, making it a multi-purpose field where it could be soccer, lacrosse, or it could be converted into 2 additional fields, and that's what they're looking at right now and seeing, if that's something that they can make happen. It is a $3.5 million investment, and every day that price tag goes up, as you know, in building costs. So, it's just a numbers game, as you said, trying to figure out a way to pay for it. And it's crazy when you look at it. Every time you build something, you generate more money. So right now, if you go to a soccer game, just our community, it's not just what economic impact we're putting into our community, it's what we're giving back to our community as quality of life. So if you have a kiddo that's playing soccer and they go play there, they're playing on grass, and they can't use that field for anything else, or it will kill the grass and we won't have a soccer season. The other thing is because it's not enclosed by a fence, they can't charge admission. So if they were to multi-purpose that field and enclose it, just alone, the gate cost to go into that would generate almost 6 figures in its first year. Just the gate cost. So they're looking at all of that and trying to figure out how to come up with the money because it will pay for itself in its first year.
All right, any other questions? Thank you very much. Pam, anything else you'd like to add?
Just add, as you can tell, everybody has been running on full throttle there. And yes, that is a pun for the upcoming Sturgis and Hog Rally. Our board adopted some legislative priorities that we took to Branson to the Board of Aldermen last week. They approved, and were supportive of those. I go back again next week and they will officially vote on those. So we are excited to continue to find ways that we can work together to move our destination forward and help everyone here. Kirk touched on the accreditation process for the Cheney County Partnership. The IECD, less than 1% of economic organizations receive this accreditation, so it will give us a lot of leverage as we go out, try to bring in new people that are interested in bringing money here, building things, moving here. Derek, I know you sat through one of the interviews. It's been a full day of interviews. I myself have sat in on it, taking them out to dinner tonight, and then I think they have a full day tomorrow. This is just another way that we elevate ourselves from everybody else, and this accreditation is really important, just like being a 5-star Chamber of Commerce. Getting that accreditation, only 6% of the chambers in the United States are a 5-star organization. So continuing to stay strategic and stay focused. Matt presented yesterday the takeaways from our trip to Tennessee and incorporated those into our board's strategic plan, and there was a lot of crossover and a lot of commonality, and so it gave us a really good roadmap on how we need to move forward. As I mentioned at the last one, that is now completed. If you would like for us to present that at one of your board meetings in the future, we'd be happy to do that. And just lots of work, tis the season, budget season for everything. So contracts and all of the above. So we are working hard and trying to stay focused and trying to stay cool while we're doing it. So thank you for the opportunity to speak, Derek.
No, always. Thank you very much. Any questions for Pam? Right, seeing none, that takes us to our reports. Next up is announcements and public comments. Would anybody have an announcement or public comment?
I like Tim's shirt.
Love it.
It was given to me, or I'd never wear it.
I think Wilcox doesn't have the guts to wear it. Keep it up.
That'll make it my size. So,
Me either.
All right, I'm not seeing any announcements in public comment, so we don't have any old business. We're on to new business, and the one item we have on new business is with Alex departing from our board, that leaves a open position on our personnel committee. And so just wanted to open up for nominations or discussion about who we want to, as a board, choose to replace Alex on the personnel committee. So understand that that is appointed by the board. It's based on individual appointment. It's not based on title or position on the board.
What does it do and who's on it right now?
Michelle and Derek Smith are on it right now, and you, as a committee, are responsible for staff reviews. And then any alterations or suggestions to the personnel handbook.
How often do they meet? And what's the time commitment?
Typically once a year, and it probably takes 2 meetings. You think? I don't know what you guys do when you do
Well,
it.
I don't know what's been the recent experience, but I would say that it's not a large time commitment. It's just a commitment to make sure that we adhere to our personnel handbook and give the proper feedback to our team members.
We can keep almost everything.
Sure.
Due to the background experience, I know
Tim?
our vice chair, Matthew Grocott, for the personnel committee.
I was getting ready to nominate the newest board member. I thought that's where.
Well,
Yeah, that's me.
I've got a nomination. You are allowed to decline.
No, that's okay. As long as it's not a mess, it's not good.
They are not monthly meetings, no. No, they are not. I can assure you that. Anybody else? Well, volunteered, voluntold, I guess. Are you accepting the nomination?
That's fine. I have 3 times.
Okay, I know you don't. But, with that, we've got a nomination on the table. Anybody else? Seeing none, can I have a motion to accept Matt as the next appointee? A second? All those in favor? Raise your hand, Matt. You've been approved. So, okay, we got that taken care of. All right, with that, we have no other items on our agenda, so we will adjourn the meeting and thank you everybody for attending today.
Thank you all.
Thank you.